Good evening, my dear sisters and brothers, and my humble pranams at the holy feet of the Divine Master. Today, I will continue reading the spiritual training in the book Reality at Dawn, written by Revered Babuji Maharaj. That is, generally people complain of numerous ideas creeping into their mind at the time of meditation. They think that they have failed in their practice unless they bring their mind to a standstill. Standstill means balanced state. Because so many, while doing meditation, we get so many ideas, so many thoughts, so many imaginations. That is disturbing. So the abhyasi, generally the abhyasis, they think that they want to bring the mind to a standstill. There should not be any thoughts or disturbance in the mind. That is the general idea of the abhyasis. So they think that they have failed in their practice unless they bring their mind to a standstill. So that is the idea of the abhyasis. If the mind is not means balanced or standstill, if it is disturbed, then during meditation, then naturally the abhyasis, they think that uh, they have failed in their practice. That is not correct. That's not correct what Babuji is telling. But it is not so. We are not practicing concentration but only meditation. That we have to understand. This is concentration. You concentrate on that, you concentrate on studies, you concentrate like that. We have been practiced by telling so many, our elders or some means some people. But actually concentration, it is not. We are doing meditation. Concentration means the result of meditation, totally involving in meditation. So that comes after several years or months of practice, that we get that concentration. Okay, so that should not be mistaken. Babuji says, don't think you should get immediately, you should get concentration of mind. Means immediately the mind should come under your control. No. That is not possible. Anything, anything, if you want to learn how to drive a car also, it requires practice. Walking on the rope, that requires practice. So then only slowly we'll get the balance. That is concentration. So the flow of ideas, we must go on with meditation unmindful of the foreign ideas that happen to come to our mind at the time. Okay, we should not care. We should go on with the meditation. Whatever disturbance gets in the mind. The flow of ideas is due to the activities of our conscious mind, which is never at rest. Because why we get that flow of ideas or thoughts and everything disturbance? That is because of our conscious mind, not subconscious mind. Conscious mind. So, because conscious mind is always, it is active, it is not at rest. It will be roaming here and there, here and there. So to control that mind in the conscious level, it is difficult. So due to that only, see, that is only the flow of ideas is due to the activities of our conscious mind which is never at rest. Okay. We are still busy in meditation with our subconscious mind. Though conscious mind is restless, but we are busy with the subconscious mind with our meditation on the divine light in the heart. While our conscious mind is roaming about and forming numerous ideas, one way the conscious mind, when we do the meditation, when we conduct the meditation, one way the mind, the conscious mind, that will be gone roaming, helter skelter, here and there, nook and corner. So that is there, one part of the mind. The other subconscious mind, this is conscious mind. Subconscious mind is on the it is on the divine light. Its attention is on the divine light. It will not roam. So that is the thing what happens during meditation. So we are still busy in meditation with our subconscious mind, while our conscious mind is roaming about and forming numerous ideas. Okay. Thus, we are not the loser in any way. No, we are not loser. We are doing meditation. Subconscious mind is there. That is always, with the help of subconscious mind, we can meditate on the divine light. But conscious mind, we are yet to control. Conscious mind also should be diverted towards the heart on the divine light. That takes time. That comes out of practice, sadhana. So we are not losing anything. We are not failing in our practice or meditation. But it requires, it's a time factor. It requires time to control the conscious mind also. So therefore, thus we are not the loser in any way. In due course, after sufficient practice, the conscious mind too gets molded and begins to act in harmony with the subconscious mind. You see? So in due course of practice, may take months or may take years, very short time. It will not drag throughout the life. In short time, what happens when the subconscious mind is on the divine light, meditating on the divine light, subconscious mind, and the conscious mind slowly, by practicing daily, regularly, and the subconscious mind will also be diverted, means the conscious mind also will be diverted towards the heart on the divine light. So both conscious and subconscious mind, after a long period, it will be completely, it will be diverted. It will be diverted on the divine light in the heart. That is, the meditation will go on without any problem. So that is what we have to give training to the conscious mind also. Okay. Training means practice. The result thus achieved is deep-rooted and lasting. And finally, calmness, the characteristic of soul, becomes predominant. So what will happen? Both the conscious and the subconscious mind begin to meditate on the divine light in the heart. What happens then? When we are doing meditation, we go deep into the meditation. It is quite but natural. We are the abhyasis. But what is there in the depth of the heart? That is calmness. Calmness is the characteristic of the soul. So that calmness, only because that calmness is disturbed, because of that stillness, in the beginning also, the stir, because why? It was totally calm. Calmness prevailed. And that was disturbed. The balance was disturbed. Thus, the creation is formed. So therefore, what we are doing, we are also creating tiny creation. What Babaji says, stop your tiny creation. That is, we are also creating so many desires, so many emotions, so many tendencies, ideas, or imaginations, or illusions, what not. We are also doing. Our mind is not keeping quiet because this is disturbed mind, and therefore so many things we are creating, and tiny creations we are doing that to get the mind, mold the mind to a state of calmness, to a state of means a balance, then calmness prevails. So that calmness prevails. When the calmness is there, there is no disturbance. If there is no disturbance, naturally we don't indulge. Our mind will not indulge or involve in unnecessary things. The mind will begin to receive only the necessary things, and it will remove the unnecessary things will be removed from the mind. So we concentrate, both the subconscious and conscious mind will concentrate on the divinity in the heart, and we experience the calmness. That is most important thing. That calmness should that is the characteristic of our soul. So therefore Babuji is telling, so what Babuji is telling, the characteristic of soul becomes predominant calmness. So, and finally calmness, the result thus achieved is deep rooted and lasting, and finally calmness, the characteristic of soul becomes predominant. Calmness of the soul, it becomes predominant. So finally, what we are going to achieve, we are in an imbalanced state of existence, disturbed state of existence, indisciplined state of existence. So we are in this state of existence, and we are facing so many problems due to disturbance, due to this imbalance we are facing. And by practice, our mind becomes balanced. When the mind becomes balanced, all these problems of life, or any desires, unquenched desires, or any fearful illusions, delusions, whatever may be there, because of disturbance of the mind. So therefore, when calmness is attained in the mind attains the calmness, then what happens? We get away. Means all these things, unnecessary things, this what the mind was producing, all these things will naturally go away. So that is by practicing only we get it. By doing meditation, that's why meditation is prescribed. Any religion, anything in our Shastras also, meditation is prescribed only to bring the mind to a state of calmness. So therefore, that's all. Balance, irregular mind should become regular. Imbalanced mind should become balanced. Indisciplined mind should become disciplined. That is the mind should come to a state of standstill. That is balance. Should attain balance. That balance is nothing but calmness. Okay. So therefore, here the condition, no doubt, this is what Babuji is telling. So I have so therefore what Babuji is telling, in certain cases I have observed the teachers exercising their willpower to stop the normal functioning of the mind during sittings, creating a temporary state of senselessness or suspension of brain. So that is what this is downfall of our Vedic, that Vedic elegance, that Vedic teachings. So Vedic treasure, that is. Because of that, the downfall, the teachers, what they started doing generation after generation, from the Vedic lore, what they started doing, they, with their willpower, they want to stop the functioning of the mind. The functioning of the mind, it is disturbed. But they want to stop with their willpower, not allowing their followers to practice and then become perfect. They're not allowing it. That is the greatest blunder, grave mistake. So Babaji is telling that should not be. You should allow the follower, the abhyasi, to cultivate, to practice and then mold the mind by himself. Willpower is there, no? We have to do practice in every matter, material or spiritual. We have to make our mind. We have to mold our mind. That is our duty. So that is what Babaji Maharaj is telling. They are failing means, see how many, because after Krishna, how the Lord Krishna, how many? Generation after generation people. So very, very few people, very, very can be counted on the fingers. They are only they become saint. Saint means they got their, means the balance of mind. Rather, they could reach their destination. But the religious people, they have spoiled their still mind when it is compressed by force. So the mind is kept in a standstill state. The mind, instead of being in that state, it becomes worse than what it was. So therefore, this forced means should be avoided. Okay. So that is the thing what Babaji is telling. That is the thing. During sittings, creating a temporary state of senselessness or suspension of brain, there is only temporary suspension of brain. That's not permanent. Brain, what happens then? The condition, no doubt, is most attractive to a beginner who is ignorant of reality. So like that, if the teacher does temporary suspension of the mind, then the mind is suspended, means he will, is like samadhi. So super consciousness, something like that he will see. During sleep, our mind is suspended for a few hours. We feel relaxed. So in meditation, if the mind is suspended for some time, then he feels that that is the greatest achievement what he thinks. But it is not so. But it will be attractive for the beginner. But attractive to a beginner who is ignorant of reality. So that is not reality. You understand? That suspension of mind, temporarily suspended mind is not a reality. It is only what is called, it's not reality. And he feels greatly impressed by this extraordinary display of power. So when the mind is suspended for some time, so he thinks that the guru, the master who gives sitting to him, he thinks that, oh, what a great master. He suspended. Pure, I am feeling peaceful. Nothing. What is this? That is what the mistaken notion of it comes to the mistaken notion of the abhyasi. He mistakes. That's all. So therefore, in my opinion, it is only a feat of jugglery practiced. Yes, it's a jugglery, what he says, practiced by the so-called spiritual masters, teachers in this world, by those who are eager to attract the largest number of disciples in order to establish their greatness as a guru. So they say that the gurus, they want to establish that is popularity to the humanity. In humanity, they want popularity. They want to attract all the humanity to their fold. So they tell their disciples that like this, they display. They do magic, jugglery, and hypnotism, mesmerism, like that. It is a jugglery on the part of the religious gurus. They do it. with their willpower. They have some, might have some power. With that, they do it. Temporary senselessness. So due to that, the people are attracted. Oh, there is something really. Because people are vexed with the mind. Always always, never at rest. The mind, always restless. Restless, depression, dejection. So many things we are hearing. And then how to manage the mind. We are not able to manage the mind because we are under the control of the mind, rather, and not vice versa. So therefore, when the mind is comes under our control, that is suspension. If it comes to our control for some time, we think that what a wonderful. Because that is, if it is permanent, that is what is called. We have achieved. We have realized the self, we can say. Or we have realized, we have got the balance of mind. That's all. But this is temporarily, it is suspended, and the people mistake that of reality. That is reality. Reality is nothing but complete balance of mind, regulated. Mind is totally regulated state of existence. That is reality. Okay. So therefore, disciples, in order to establish their greatness as a guru, for petty things, these spiritual masters, these religious masters, they are doing jugglery, black magic, or this hypnotism, mesmerism, all these things they are doing just to attract the disciples and get benefited from them. I would call it the greatest misuse of power on the part of a spiritual teacher who has perhaps no other underlying motive than self-predominance. So Babuji is condemning those such spiritual teachers. They are doing harm to this type of jugglery they are doing, and then they are spoiling the spiritual career of the abhyasis. They are abhyasis. That is the greatest misuse of the powers. They get, see, by doing meditation, and some people we are seeing in this world, they get siddhis. See, progress in any method, spiritual method, when the method is the yogic practices, when we do that yogic practices, some practices are there in the book too. It is certain people get some siddhis, but they are misusing that power. They should not misuse power like this for their selfishness. So that's why Babuji is getting worried about those religious teachers and their way of dealing with their disciples' spiritual life. I would call it the greatest misuse of power on the part of a spiritual teacher who has perhaps no other underlying motive than self-predominance. Self-predominance is important to those teachers. It is a wrong practice and greatly harmful to the spiritual advancement of an aspirant. Ideas thus suppressed or suspended, ideas, thoughts, if you suspend like that, forcible, suspended, soon begin to react with the greater force. That will not, ideas cannot be suspended. See, while we are going to sleep also, Shushupti, that is one consciousness, no? So we go into the sleep. And after 6 or 7 hours, we get up. There is blank. Nothing in the mind. Suspension of mind and its activities and everything. There is mindlessness state. So we feel relaxed and everything. But if we observe seriously, while going into the sleep, our ideas and everything is slowly suspended, means suppressed. That will not, the thoughts and our thoughts and ideas and then imaginations will not evaporate. while going to sleep, that will be suppressed for a time being, for the time being. And when we get up again, we start. No sooner we get up from the sleep, then we get immediately we get so many other things starts, isn't it? Are you not observing? So that thoughts, that imagination, those things, no, they have not gone. They have not disappeared or removed from the mind. That is there, but suppressed during meditation, during sleep. So, like that, this is also suppressed. But that will come double force. What Babaji says, if the teachers, such teachers, they suppress the thoughts and ideas in the mind for the time being, but it comes in double force. So you can see the tension of the mind of an abhyasi. He has to double pain, that is double problem he will get. So on the other line, that is a thing on the part of a spiritual teacher who has perhaps no other underlying motive than self-predominance. It is a wrong practice and greatly harmful to the spiritual advancement of an aspirant. So aspirant, he comes for spiritual advancement, but here he will be led to hallucination. That's all. He will not he will not go to he will not get the reality. Instead, he will get hallucination because of this forced means. It is a wrong practice and greatly harmful to the spiritual advancement of an aspirant. Ideas thus suppressed or suspended soon begin to react with greater force, spoiling the entire system. Besides, the practice creates internal heaviness and dullness of mind. You see, such type of practices, dullness and heaviness, it produces. One who is subject to such a practice for a long time loses sense of discrimination and his power of realization gets blunt. He will lose power of discrimination, discern. So many good qualities, that is wisdom, what not. Misunderstanding will develop. The mind will be spoiled. The person, the system itself will be spoiled to a great extent. Such type of practice, if it is continued for a long time, Babaji is telling warning, rather, that such practice should be stopped. So then realization becomes impossible. Such aspirants by those gurus, fake gurus, or selfish gurus. Sense of discrimination and his power of realization gets blunt. In course of time, he gets completely spoiled and becomes quite unfit for the real spiritual training. Such people, that's why Babaji is telling, see, if it will, some people, such a type of meditation, yogas, that will lead to insanity. He will become insane. Mad fellow. Mad fellow, no, even in our mission, Babaji does not allow the mad fellows. Psychic. If he has a psychic problem, terrible psychic problem, because Babaji is very, what? He cannot bring any progress in that man, because when the mind is completely, totally in a uncontrolled state, if the person cannot control the imagination completely or the thoughts completely, the mind will be gone producing thoughts after. See the mad fellows, how they behave. So such people with such a mind, uncontrolled, totally uncontrolled minded people are not fit for spiritual upliftment. Therefore, this is the result. Why they get into insane, certain people, certain aspirants, they really want to advance in spirituality. Unfortunately, they go to such gurus who does experiments. What experiments? And tricks, juggleries on those aspirants, and they spoil their mental abilities, and thereby the abhyasis of such gurus. they spoil their spiritual career, and then their cherish to go. So that is the how the spiritual gurus are there in this world. That is practical reality. It is not just Babuji is not just telling out of, he's not guessing and telling. No, it is a reality. One has to face such things. Only then they can realize and becomes quite unfit for the spiritual training. Okay. If a man does not grow lighter day by day, he must conclude that he is receiving a wrong type of training, spiritual training. So this is most important to all of everyone, even our Abhyas is also here. So that's why regularity is important thing. Why he is insisting upon regularity, Babuji Maharaj? Because regular meditation, only that will produce. See that then the Abhyasi will feel lighter and lighter. See, that should be there. Heaviness. The samskars are cleansed. No, what I think I'm telling. Some when samskara, the load of samskaras are going out, then we feel, when the load is going out from us, then we feel lighter and lighter. So, but here Babuji is telling in the meditation, the Abhyasi should feel lighter and lighter day by day. So only then he is progressing. That we have to observe in meditation, not experiences. I want colorful experiences, rainbow experience. No. That and all it will, blissfulness, that and all will come. Of course, that also an Abhyasi will have. Each and every Abhyasi will have ups and downs, that the experiences are very high, means blissful experiences, and also sometimes very lowest type of disturbance also will come. Disgust with the meditation also will, spirituality also will come to the Abhyas. That is there, but ups and downs in spirituality. But Babuji says one has to feel lighter and lighter day by day. That comes out of regularity also. Their regularity also plays an important role. Regular meditation, as he said, 1 hour morning, evening, half an hour cleaning, bedtime prayer, satsang attending regularly, taking sittings regular. This regularity, no, this will make the person to progress spiritually. There will not be any breakdowns, breakups. So continuity will be there, practice. So continuous practice, what it makes, slowly the progress. When progressing, he will feel lighter. And lighter, that is the proof. Proof of the means eating lies in pudding. So that is the proof. When the body is, when we feel lighter and lighter day by day, during meditation or during the day, in our activities, we feel lighter and lighter, then definitely we are progressing. That is a sure sign that we can make sure that we are journeying. We are progress means we are journeying towards the infinity. No doubt. Whether we get any experience, high blissful experience or not, that is not that will come like a cloud, passing cloud, and it will go away. Even the greatest experiences. But this thing, lightness, that is the proof. Every day, we want every day, what is our spiritual condition we observe. And this is the proof. What Babuji is telling, lighter and lighter, that is the proof. And so Babuji is telling, if a man does not grow lighter day by day, he has to go lighter and lighter day by day, he must conclude that he is receiving a wrong type of spiritual training. So there we can find out. So that is what he is telling. Even in the world also, certain people are there. World also he is telling to the religious, spirituality, missions and methods, masters. The Abhyasi should feel lighter and lighter, not heavier, not grossness, heavier, tension, all these things. If he feels, he has to leave that mission master and just he should come away and pray God, that's all. Otherwise, his system will become unfit for spiritual training. So, constant growth of lightness of mind and spirit is the surest test of spiritual progress. That is what is constant. Progress means when we are progressing, the mind becomes lighter and lighter. We have to feel the lightness during our meditation. Of course, it is in our mission, of course. Slowly it will take. So what Babuji is telling, slowly we have to, that we will feel, that every Abhyasi feels in our mission by the power of transmission. Every Abhyasi feels lighter, lighter and lighter. So we are free. Of course, the disturbance may be there in meditation. That will slowly, that will be sidelined. We'll slowly get into the calmness while we are doing meditation, and lightness also we feel. That's why 1 hour, why Babuji says 1 hour, why I kept. Because if an Abhyasi does meditation for an hour, then only he can feel the experience of calmness and then lightness, this feeling of lightness and calmness. It takes, because the mind takes so much of, the conscious mind is so powerful. It will not make us to go deep into the heart and feel the calmness or lightness. The mind, the conscious mind is, that is how, that is, we have made our mind like that. Therefore, the practice, slowly practice, what will happen? The disturbance will slowly reduced and we feel lightness and calmness. So that's all. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And again, next time we will meet and read further about the same subject. Till then, okay. Thank you. ఇప్పుడు అందరికీ నమస్కారం. మన గురువర్యుల అందరికీ నా యొక్క పాదాభి వందనములు. ఇప్పుడు నేను అదే మన ఆధ్యాత్మిక శిక్షణ గురించి చదువుతూ ఉన్నాం. ఈ యొక్క సత్యోదయము అనే పుస్తకములో దీన్ని మన పూజ్యులు ఆయన బాబుజీ గారు రచించారు. దానిలో ఇప్పుడు ఒక పారాగ్రాఫ్ నేను చదువుతాను, దాన్ని వినండి. అదేమంటే, సాధారణముగా ధ్యాన సమయమున అసంఖ్యాకములగు ఆలోచనలు మనస్సున చొరబారునని అనేకులు మొరపెట్టుదురు. వారు తమ మనస్సులను నిశ్చల స్థితికి తేకున్నంత వరకు వారి సాధనలో లోపమున్నదని వారు అనుకుందురు. కానీ అది సరికాదు. మనము ధ్యానము చేయుచున్నాము, కానీ మనస్సును కేంద్రీకరించుటకు సాధన చేయుట లేదు. ధ్యాన కాలమున మన మనస్సును కలతపెట్టు అన్యాలోచనలను సరకు చేయక తదేకముగా ధ్యానముతో సాగిపోవలను. ఆలోచన స్రవంతి మన నిలకడలేని చేతన మనస్సు యొక్క కార్యకలాపముల వలన ఉత్పన్నమగుచున్నది. మన బాహ్య మనస్సు ఆలోచనలను రూపొందించుకొనుచు నిందందు తిరుగాడుచున్నను. మన అంతర్ మనస్సుతో ధ్యానమునందు లగ్నమై ఉండవచ్చును. దీని వలన మనకు కలిగడి నష్టమేమీ లేదు. వలసినంత సాధన చేయగా క్రమేణా బాహ్య మానసము కూడా చక్కగా రూపొంది అంతర్మనస్సుతో సమ్మేళనము సమకూర్చు కోనారంభించును. ఇట్లు సాధించిన ఫలితము లోతుగా నాటుకొని పోయి చిరకాలం ఉండునట్టిది. చివరకు ఆత్మ లక్షణమగు ప్రశాంతతయే ప్రధానమగును. కొన్ని ఎడల గురువులు తమ ఆత్మబలమును ఉపయోగించి ధ్యానకాలమందు సామాన్య మానహ కృత్యముల అరికట్టి తాత్కాలిక చేతనారహిత స్థితిని గాని బుద్ధి మాంద్యమును గాని కల్పించుట నేను గమనించిన వాడను. నిజమెరుగని ప్రారంభకున ఈ స్థితి నిస్సందేహముగా అత్యంతాకర్షణీయమగును. ఈ అసాధారణ శక్తి ప్రదర్శనమున అతడు ముగ్ధుడగును. నాకు నాకు మీన్స్ నాకు చూడ ఇది ఎంతయు తమ గురుత్వమును ప్రతిపాదించుకొనుటకై అసంఖ్యాకమగు శిష్య వర్గమును ఆకర్షించుట కాతుర పడువారి గారడియే గాని వేరుగాదు. స్వీయ ప్రాముఖ్యమే ప్రధానోద్దేశముగా గల ఆధ్యాత్మిక ఉపదేశకుడు తన శక్తిని కేవలము దుర్వినియోగపరుచుచున్నాడని యందును. అది అపమార్గము. అభ్యాసి యొక్క ఆధ్యాత్మిక ప్రగతికి గొడ్డలి పెట్టు. అట్లు అణచినట్టి గాని తొలగగొట్టినట్టి గాని ఆలోచనలు మరింత శక్తితో ప్రతీకార చర్య మొదలిడి ధ్రువస్థనే చెడగొట్టును. పైగా ఈ పద్ధతి ఆంతరింగిక భారమును బుద్ధి మాంద్యమును కలిగించును. అట్టి సాధనకు దీర్ఘకాలము లోనైన వాడు వివేక జ్ఞానమును కోల్పోవును. వాని సాక్షాత్కార సాధన శక్తి మొక్కబోవును. కొలది కాలమున అతడు పూర్తిగా చెడిపోయి నిజమగు ఆధ్యాత్మిక శిక్షణకు కూడా అనర్హుడగును. దినదిన ప్రవర్తమానమగు తేలిక తనము అనుభవమునకు రానిచో అభ్యాసి సరికాని ఆధ్యాత్మిక శిక్షణను పొందుచున్నాడని తెలియవలెను. మనస్సునందును భావమునందును నిరవధిక లాఘవాభివృద్ధి కానవచ్చినచో అది ఏ ఆధ్యాత్మిక పురోగతికి నిక్కమగు నిదర్శనము. ఓకే, అర్థమైందండి. ఇదన్నమాట బాబూజీ గారు చెప్పారు ఈ యొక్క పారాగ్రాఫ్లో. ఈ యొక్క ఆధ్యాత్మిక శిక్షణ ఇది చెప్పారు, స్పిరిచువల్ ట్రైనింగ్. ఇంతేనండి ఈవేళకు. తర్వాత మిమ్మల్ని నేను తప్పకుండా కలుసుకుంటాను. అతని సంకల్పం ద్వారా తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇంకా కొద్ది ఉన్నాయి, దాన్ని చదువుతాము, తెలుసుకుని దాని తద్వారా మనం ఇంకా స్పిరిచువల్ ప్రోగ్రెస్ త్వరితగా వేగంగా పొందగలము అని నేను విశ్వసిస్తున్నాను. ఇంతేనండి. ఓం శాంతి.